Broken reality. You wake up, everything feels normal. The sunlight creeps through the blinds, the sound of the coffee machine brewing your first cup of the day. But then something feels off. You look outside and the street looks different. The trees, the buildings, everything seems slightly altered. You shake it off, but then it happens. The man walking past your window, you know him, but from where? The coffee shop? A friend's house? You can't place it. How do you know him? But what if it's not just a coincidence? What if it's a glitch, a crack in the system? Some believe this is just your brain misfiring, confusing the present with a memory. But here's the twist. What if this isn't a brain error? What if reality itself is broken? What if we're in a simulation and this moment is just being repeated? So, what does this mean for us? Maybe every déjà vu we experience is a sign that reality is glitching, that we're stuck in a loop. What if our world isn't as real as we think? Maybe, just maybe, we're all living in a broken reality, and we don't even know it. Next, missing time. It's 2:30 p.m. You sit at your desk, checking the time on your phone. You glance away, distracted by a task. You look back, it's suddenly 3:15 p.m. No one was around, no one called you, you weren't in a rush, yet 45 minutes have vanished into thin air. How does this happen? Your mind races trying to explain it. Maybe you were tired, maybe you weren't paying attention. But what if it's something more? Something we can't explain? We've all experienced it. The feeling that time just disappeared? It's not like we lost track of it, it vanished. You were there aware, but when you check the clock again, something doesn't add up. Could time itself be breaking down? Some people believe that time is like a computer program. It's organized, precise, and it runs without fail. But what happens when the program glitches? Could time be experiencing a desync, like an app freezing or failing to load properly? What if the missing time you feel is a result of a subtle error in how the universe tracks and processes time? Maybe it's not your mind playing tricks. Maybe the world itself is out of sync. You've lived through it, just like a bug in the system, where events don't line up the way they're supposed to. Think about those moments when time feels stretched, when minutes turn into seconds and seconds into hours. What if we're all just living in a loop, and some pieces of time are being skipped or erased? Could the missing time be a sign that something in our reality is glitching? What if, just like in a video game, time isn't a constant? It's part of the program, waiting for the next reset? Moving on, invisible hand. You're walking down a familiar street, your usual route. But today, something feels different. You don't remember choosing to stop at the newsstand or the book you picked up. You didn't even plan on browsing, but now you're holding a book in your hand. Ever had that moment when you thought, why did I choose this? Something inside tells you that maybe, just maybe, you were meant to be here. It's as if there's a force beyond your control, gently nudging you through life. You might dismiss it as coincidence, but what if those moments aren't just random? What if an invisible force is steering you, pulling the strings from behind the scenes? Some believe this force is an invisible hand, guiding your every choice, your every step. But what if that hand isn't some random occurrence? What if your life is being directed by something or someone that you can't see? And when you start to notice it, what happens next? Up next, glitch in consciousness. You're in the middle of a conversation, fully aware of your surroundings, when suddenly everything stops. Your mind blanks. You're not sure what was just said or if you even responded. The world continues around you, but for a split second, you're not entirely sure if you're still part of it. Have you ever felt like you're just watching yourself live your life? As if you're not fully present in the moment? It's like your own consciousness is glitching. Some call it a brain lapse, a brief disconnect between your mind and body. But what if it's more than that? What if, for just a moment, your consciousness wasn't fully synced with reality? What if you stepped out of the experience, leaving your mind behind, unable to keep up? This glitch in consciousness might not be as rare as we think. People report experiencing time loss, where they forget entire sections of their day or feel like they're operating in autopilot. Could it be that we're not always in control of our own minds? If your mind can glitch, what does that say about reality itself? Could it be that your consciousness is not as reliable as you believe? And what happens when the glitch becomes permanent? Next, NPC Effect. You're walking down a crowded street, the buzz of activity all around you. People rushing by, faces you don't recognize. But then something strange happens. A man stands still in the middle of the crowd, unmoving, eyes blank. Everyone else keeps walking, but he's frozen, like he's just waiting for a cue. It's not the first time you've noticed it. It happens all the time. People you pass by, their movements are almost robotic, like they're waiting for something to activate them. What if they're not really aware of the world around them? What if they're just playing a role in a larger game? We know the term NPC, non-playable character, from video games. These characters are controlled by the game, interacting only when needed, moving within the game world without real autonomy. But what if some people in your life are like that? Going through their daily motions without ever truly living or questioning their existence. What happens when you start noticing it? Could you be surrounded by NPCs, living in a world full of players, but some just following a script they don't even know they're in? Next, time loop paradox. You're in the middle of a meeting listening to a colleague speak, and then it happens. You realize you've already heard these exact words before. The same jokes, the same comments, even the same expressions. You try to shake it off, but it's impossible to ignore. Everything feels too familiar. It's not just déjà vu. You're living the same moment again. But how? Why? The conversation seems to reset, and you're back to square one. As if time itself decided to rewind and replay everything. Could this be a glitch? The idea of a time loop suggests that the present moment isn't truly the present at all. You might be caught in a cycle, reliving the same events, unaware of the repetition, until one day you realize it's happening over and over. What if you've already lived this day countless times? What if the choices you make, the paths you take, don't really matter because time is just looping back on itself? What if you're stuck and you can't even see it? Some believe these loops are a consequence of reality glitching, a cosmic reset button that rewinds time to a specific point. But what if the loop is part of the bigger plan? And when you realize it, what happens next? Moving on, reality patch. You're in your living room, watching TV. The same show you've seen 100 times before. The plot is predictable, the characters familiar, but this time something's different. A line of dialogue is off. It's the same scene, but the words coming from the character's mouth don't match what you remember. You rewind. Did you miss something? But when you watch it again, the scene plays out differently. The words, the tone, everything, it's as if the show itself has changed. You stop and think, am I losing my mind? But then it happens again. A bookshelf, one you've owned for years, suddenly looks newer. The cover is different, more polished, the print sharper. You check it. You swear it wasn't like that yesterday. What if reality is updating? What if the universe is constantly being patched, like software with subtle changes that we can't keep track of? Every so often, the details get rewritten, and you're left wondering if you've been living in the same world all along. It's like a glitch in the system, an update that shifts things just enough for you to notice, but not enough for everyone else to. What happens when you begin to notice these patches? Is it your memory that's flawed, or is reality itself being edited? And if the patches keep coming, what happens to the world you thought you knew? Lastly, reset button. You're having a conversation, and suddenly, everything around is silent. The sounds from the street, the voices of those nearby, even the hum of the air conditioning all vanish for a moment, as if reality itself paused. You blink, and the world snaps back into focus, just as it was. You look around, confused. Did something change? You shake the feeling off, but then you notice it again, a split second, where time feels like it was rewound and played forward. You're not sure if you imagined it, but the unease lingers. What if your life is being rebooted? And that's it for today's dive into the unknown. If you've ever wondered if reality is more fragile than we think, or if the universe itself has a reset button, you're not alone. What do you think? Have you experienced moments where reality felt a little off? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss another mystery. Until next time, keep questioning, keep wondering, and remember, nothing is ever quite as it seems.